Hey everybody, I am Scotty J. Welcome back to Rock Titan Live, and we've got an awesome guest with us today. And as a matter of fact, you were already supposed to meet this guy on Rock Titan Live, but yours truly, Scotty J, screwed the pooch. But this gentleman is a man of his word, and he's an uber talent to boot. He's got a brand new album coming out May 7th called Sonic Healing, which was a collaboration with another guest that we had on not too long ago, Mr. Kurdt Vanderhoof, the awesome guitarist from Metal Church. And I can't wait to talk to this guy. He's got an amazing voice. If you think when you hear him, you're hearing a little bit of Rush, maybe you're hearing a little bit of Boston, Styx, yeah, because this guy is that good. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Michael Hall. How are you, Todd?
Hey, thank you, Scott. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, well, it's great because now we've already been acquainted with one another, so it's not like you're meeting me for the first time thinking, man, this dude is off the wall. You already know what you're getting with me, and you still came back.
I feel like I'm on my second album tour, promotion tour already. It's a repeat, right?
You know what, man? It's a beautiful thing, Well, you know what? I mean, here you are, you and I are talking again, but I imagine for a musician like yourself, and I'm not, so I don't know what it's like, but it's got to be. I don't even know what the right word would be. I guess maybe I want to do some comedy here soon, where you're doing the same material over and over again, because for the audience, they're seeing it for the first time. But for you as the talent, for you as the singer, the songwriter, does it ever get kind of old and redundant? Even though it is redundant, does it ever get old playing the same material to a crowd, even though you're in a different city, different town, different venue, but you're playing it over and over and over again? Do you ever have that feeling where you just want it to be over? Or is it magical every single time you do it?
I think it really comes down to the audience and whether or not you're getting energy from the audience. I think any musician that's played out live very many times has had those shows where you're like, oh God, like for whatever reason, either enough people don't show up, or there's enough people there to see a different band instead of you, or they just want to sit on their hands, or they're going to spend more time paying attention to the person they're talking to at the table than they are to you. That sort of stuff is like an energy drain. And that's when and I have had that before with cover tune bands and whatnot, where you're just up on stage and you're like, oh God, please, I just want this to be over. I would say with Riot, I mean, in all honesty, I've had a couple shows at Riot where the number of people wasn't so much. And when the show first started, you felt a little awkward or whatever have you, or it was just a small venue. And we've played some places in Europe where it's a tiny little thing. Even in South America, we played in this like old little salt storage mine or something in South America. But once you start playing the shows though, and the people go nuts, it brings an energy that now all of a sudden you're having fun and it's a party. So I think it really comes down to the crowd, really. If you can get energy from the crowd, it's gonna fill you up. And the reverse is very much true too. If they're draining energy, it's gonna drain it all from you, and it's gonna be hard to keep playing.
That's awesome. And I'm glad you brought up like that fueling, getting the fuel from the fan base. And like you just brought up, you're the lead singer of Riot 5, Riot. And so everybody, Todd Michael Hall, you do know this guy from Riot. And you know what? It's funny. The other day I was watching Bohemian Rhapsody, and it was the Live Aid deal. Now, Queen had played in front of huge audiences forever, but I don't think anyone could possibly imagine the experience of like a Live Aid, like looking at that. And just even though you're only seeing the movie, and even though I was alive in 1985 to be there for the live, I wasn't there, but I can't personally imagine a fan base out there where everyone is chanting the lyrics to your songs, and just you're playing to them and feeding off them. I'm just curious for you, what's like the largest crowd you've played to?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't experienced anything quite at that level. Those 100,000 crowds
Right.
where I've seen videos of like Foo Fighters and U2 and like you said Queen and stuff like that, where you see some of that, and where the crowd ends up singing the song louder than the band pretty much or whatever. That's pretty unbelievable. We've had some really good experiences. We played, I think the biggest crowd so far. We played the Rockfest Barcelona, And believe it or not, we went on after Judas Priest. So I kind of jokingly say they opened for us, but that's because they play really late, you know. So we didn't go on to like midnight or 12:30 or something. And there was like 30,000 people there. So there was two big stages, and they were on this stage, and we were on the stage next to them. And so as soon as they got done, we did a quick line check, and 5 minutes later we started. And so we saw this sea of people like they were leaving, right? And then we said, you know what, we're going to kick in with Thundersteel just to start to try and hold as many of these people we can. And believe it or not, man, we kept a ton of those people, and it was a sea of people. It was somewhere between 20 and 30,000, whatever. It was a lot of people, and it was pretty interesting and pretty awesome.
That has to be the most incredible feeling. I mean, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine anything like that. But the adrenaline rush, I mean, even you as a professional. And, one of the things we talked about previously, you were on season 18 of The Voice. So, you've got quite an audience, even from that perspective. But having been there, done that, as professional as you are, you ever get butterflies? You ever get nervous before a performance?
Um, I mean, yeah, you in the sense that, I think butterflies might be the way to describe it. You get this little bit of edge and a little bit of kind of excitement. I mean, to me, what really happens is if I feel prepared. See, like when I'm with the guys with Riot, I mean, I feel really well prepared. Now, if I was having trouble with my voice, well, then I might be feeling really anxious in a negative way. But in general, man, the guys in Riot are just like amazing, and they're so locked tight that I know it's gonna be like a CD for me. And they always start, and I get to walk out after when it's my time to sing. So I get to walk out, like Elvis Presley or whatever. So in that regard, yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting for me. When it's a big crowd, what I find when it's a really big crowd, because we've done some like 10, 15,000 people in Japan and stuff when we played festivals over there and that, and some of the other ones. And what I find when it's a really big crowd and you get excited and you want to run around and really cover that 50-foot stage, I've been like, I remember in Japan, like I specifically went behind the guitar amps during this solo and just tried to zen myself down a little because I was getting so excited and I was short of breath, and you can't sing Riot when you don't have breath.
Yeah.
And so I remember that. So yeah, it's gotten in me before.
Yeah. All right.
So I think in general though, like, but even when you're playing smaller crowds, we were over. I specifically remember, we flew over to Cyprus, and we were playing a show there, and it was in this bar, and I mean, it wasn't huge. It was somewhere between 300 and 500 people in, but it was like packed, right? And these people were just voracious and loud for us and singing along. And when we got to where we played "Take Me Back," which is a song I wrote off with Mike Flint's off of the Unleash the Fire album, they were singing these lyrics back to me, and it was like there's just something, when you've got people that don't even speak English as a first language singing your lyrics back to you. I mean, that's that right there. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that. So I would say in a way, the smaller crowds sometimes are even more intimate. Like there's this little club we play in Thessaloniki, Greece. It's called the 8 Ball Club, I believe. And like the people walk up to the stage, and there's like some pipes that make like the bars or whatever that you wouldn't fall up front. But I mean, they're right there, and then they reach. It's just a little short one, and they reach up, and they got their hands on your thighs, and they're constantly getting up on stage and stage diving in, and they're so loud. I mean, you put 300 people or so in there, but they're just so loud. I mean, that sort of experience. I mean, they're both wonderful. Okay, 30,000 people, that's really cool, but 300 people that are just totally sweating it and just really into it, that's pretty damn cool too. So
Yeah, different experience, but every bit is adrenaline fueled and passionate, man. You got passionate fans no matter what. And Thessaloniki, it's interesting you bring that up. I know Gus G is from there, and we've had him on. He's a great dude.
yeah.
But so, we're here to talk about Sonic Healing, of course. We got to be promoting Sonic Healing that you did with Kurdt Vanderhoof. It's coming out May 7th via Rat Pack Records. But, because you have had the experience already with Riot and you've toured the world, you ever, and you just talked about how the fans, even though it's not their primary language, they're singing lyrics back to you. Do you ever try to greet your fans in their native language or their native tongue, like wherever you are? Have you ever done anything like that?
I try a little bit. You learn greetings, in like in Riot, the famous saying is "shine on," and so in Japanese it's like "kagayaki" or whatever
Yeah,
like that.
there you go, man.
So you try to learn like little things like that. But yeah, I'm not particularly good at it. That's for sure.
No, well, what you are good at is singing, my friend, because Sonic Healing's awesome. I've already heard it, and everybody, I can't wait to see the feedback from everybody else because I think they're going to love it, especially the fact that you collaborated with Kurdt Vanderhoof, the lead guitarist from Metal Church. What was that experience like working with Kurdt, and how did that relationship come to be? How did you guys meet up and decide to work together on this?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, Kurt is a phenomenal writer, and we just really gelled on this. I knew Joe from Rat Pack. I had worked with him a little bit before doing a cover tune that he never actually released. But so I knew him, and so when I was on The Voice and the Jukebox Hero was hit, and I told him, I said, man, let's come back around to that solo album discussion because he wanted me to do something in the metal vein previously, and I told him I want to do something more old school rock. And when I did a good job on Jukebox Hero, I said, look, this is the kind of thing I want to do. I've got my own songs. Can you hook me up with someone? And he said, hey, I think I've got a guy. And he comes back, he says, hey, do you know Kurdt Vanderhoof from Metal Church? And incidentally, I had met him. Riot had opened up for Metal Church in Switzerland back in 2016, I think it was.
Okay.
And so yeah, I had met him and we had talked a little bit, but we didn't connect. You know what I mean? I didn't have his phone number or anything. And but Joe told me like he's really into the classic rock and all that stuff. So and I'm like, really? And so we hooked up by a Zoom call and we just had like a great session talking about all the bands that influenced us and what I was trying to accomplish and we just really really gelled over that and I had brought a bunch of song ideas and he listened to them, said they sounded good, but he wanted to start by just saying, you know what, let me just get myself in the mood and start writing some things that I think are in that vein and let's see what flows. And man, he's just magical. He wrote he wrote the music and kind of arranged demos or whatever for 18 songs over the course of 21 days. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Wow.
And then over that same time period, maybe a week more, I wrote lyrics for like 16 of those songs. And so it was just amazing. Like we never did have to come back to my original ideas because we just had so many good ones from him. So it's total collaboration for sure. Nobody brought any ideas to it. You know what I mean? So
That's awesome. Now, had you been a Metal Church fan prior to your working with Kurdt?
yeah, I mean, I've known of them forever. I mean, obviously, everybody remembers that video for "Watch the Children Pray," way back. I mean, if you're old like me, from way back in the '80s. So, and my older brother Rick was always a big fan. I remember he loved the album "The Dark" and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd listened to them, a fair amount beforehand. So, I wouldn't say I was a huge fan, but I was a fan, definitely.
Yeah, no, right on. So, going from Riot to going solo, and now you've got Sonic Healing coming out. Um, has was the idea of going solo? Is this something that's been brewing for you for some time?
I mean, yeah and no. I mean, I have my own motivations. I write my own music and stuff. I actually had released some songs, back in 2017, but it was really light pop stuff, some piano only ballads, stuff like that. And it was an album that I released independently, just for charity. Went to a local charity in the area and stuff, and it was called Letters from India, and it was a bunch of love songs that basically I had written for my wife back in our pen pal days in the '90s. And
Oh, you're romantic.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, and so because she's from India and we met as pen
Oh,
pals. It's a
cool.
big long story, but in any event, so yeah, I mean, I had that experience, but I think really it just comes down to, there's you, I have a lot of motivations with music, and I love what I do with Riot. But there was like this other itch, kind of, I felt like I wanted to scratch with what I would call this kind of classic rock inspired stuff, and that was nothing that I was going to get Riot to do. And so that's why I thought, well, you know what, I'll do that. Because I mean, I don't spend full time, I mean, well, I work full time, but I mean, I don't spend all my time with just Riot. There's enough delay on stuff that it's pretty easy to have another project. And that's kind of what I saw. So I don't know. I mean, what I would really love is I just like to reach people and touch people with music. And what I'd really love to get a chance to play some shows with this original stuff. I know Kurdt would too. And but we'll see what comes with it. At the same time, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. to me, I'm really proud of what we've produced and put out, and I'd love to go further. I'd love to have another album, and I'd love to play shows to support it. But we'll just have to see what comes. It all
Okay.
comes down to how people respond to it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you kind of beat me to the punch there, Todd, because I was going to ask you about that. Like after the experience of putting Sonic Healing together, was there talk between you and Kurdt of doing a sophomore album? And having just such a great experience that this is something that you can foresee not just being a one-off, but continuing to do this moving forward.
Well, I mean, I think definitely the conversation that Kurdt and I had, was mostly like, man, we should try to play some live shows. You need the COVID thing to kind of calm down, and need to be a little bit of demand. But we're like, man, it'd be nice to play a few shows so we can kind of be a legitimate band, so to speak, and not really just a project. And I was just joking with him the other day. I'm like, dude, it was a year ago that we got together and wrote all these songs. I mean, we need to start up again. It's amazing how time flies. It took so long to put all the promo material together, and in these strange conditions, trying to film a video and stuff. And so I think he was into it too. So I mean, I would say I would definitely like to do more. And I don't think there's really a reason why I couldn't or shouldn't, other than like I said, I mean, ultimately, this is a passion project for me. I'm not trying to make my living doing it. So that aspect of it is, I think if people receive it well and they like it, that's, we talked about drawing energy from crowds. I mean, the same thing is in terms of your inspiration to write more music and produce more music. If you hear from enough people that they really liked your album, I mean, it kind of inspires you to make another one.
Yeah, no. Well, I think one of the things that would probably make this a little easier is if Riot and Metal Church went out on tour together.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
I know the guys from Riot would certainly be all for it. We had a great show together in Switzerland that one day, and it seemed to blend well with the crowd, the two different things. I got along real well with Mike Howe. He's a really nice guy. I remember taking some fanboy pictures with him and stuff, so yeah, I'd love to. I think that would be a great opportunity. So, and then it would give Kurdt and I plenty of time to try to work on some more songs,
Right? Double dip.
Yeah.
That's the whole plan. Well, I know you got to get rolling, and I can't thank you enough for your time. One of the things you talked about just a little bit ago, though, kind of some parting thoughts and, wetting everybody's whistle for a little bit more. Official music videos for Sonic Healing. Do you have anything else in the pipeline that you're looking to release in support of it?
Yeah, well, we have the 2 videos now. So we have Overdrive, and then we just released Let Loose Tonight on Friday.
Right on.
And then I do have a couple what I would call homemade ones that I made myself.
Okay.
That I plan on doing. So they're not of the professional caliber that Jamie Brown did for the other 2, but I had one that I'm going to release a video for the song "Running After You" that I'm dedicating to my brother. That's not a song necessarily written for him, but a lot of the lyrics and stuff talk about that nostalgia thing that I thought was great. So I have a little homemade one I'm going to release on my social media for that. And then I did a sing through also on the song "Like No Other," where I basically sang it from beginning to end, live for people. And I'll probably release that one too in another week or two. So
nice. Well, Todd, thank you so much again for joining me on Rock Titan Live. And everybody watching right now, if you have enjoyed this podcast between me and Todd Michael Hall every bit as much as I have every confidence you have, give us a little love, give us a little subscribe, and we've got the links here, for Sonic Healing, so you can go check that out, and everything that Todd has done, so you can go out to his links, check out the videos he's done, subscribe to him, and show some love. And again, it's been awesome hanging out, Todd.
You too, Scott, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, man, you got it. I'm Scotty J. You are watching Rock Titan Live. We're out.